situation.
Yeah, Laura, this is really interesting. I think on an average per year, it's really not that hard, $52, $53 million per year. But here's where it's interesting from a team standpoint. Look, Tua was hurt in college. He was hurt in the NFL. Like, those are the facts. On the other side of it, if I'm Tua, I'm like, well, look, 66 different quarterbacks started a game last year, and we were 31st in pass block win rate, but I started all 17 games. So I proved that I can be healthy and I should go to the top of the market, not just in average per year, but in guaranteed money. And I think that's a really hard sort of threading the needle here because both sides have good points. And I just think on the guaranteed money, that's going to be really hard to solve because I understand the perspective that each side has.
Both sides do not have good points. Having just 1 year where you're able to play start to finish like that does not mean that that's how you're going to be able to continue in your career. Now, to be clear, I'm a massive Tua Tagovailoa fan, so I'm going to see what he has to say, but both sides do not have equal points in that regard.
Yeah, this whole contract with Tua is a dicey situation because when you're talking about paying Tua the type of money that at the top end of the market, I mean, listen, we see what's going on in Buffalo. Look at what's happening with Buffalo right now, where they basically had to strip down their whole defense because obviously you're paying Josh Allen, who's, by the way, one of the top 3 quarterbacks that we have in our league right now. So if you're going to pay Tua that type of money, good luck. He's going to have to, those type of quarterbacks need to be able to elevate your team. And we saw the record, against winning teams last year when Tua was playing those good teams. So I'm just not sure about that type of contract.
Yeah. So, okay. This is how I feel about Tua. And again, to be very clear, love Tua. I really want to see him succeed. I want to see him shine. I think he's a great person and a great player. But you can't pay Tua this, the most guaranteed, the highest, per year. Like, he's not, you can't pay him. And this is what I always said. This is what I said about Dak Prescott. You can't pay Tua more than Patrick Mahomes and have him not win like he's Patrick Mahomes and then expect him to be able to somehow win in the playoffs like he's Patrick Mahomes. It just doesn't add up. So if you want to say that Tua has solved the injury issues, which I disagree with, and I think it's very, it's a sad aspect of his unfortunate career, and I still hold my breath. Like, there's a difference when you saw Josh Allen go up against the Miami Dolphins in that last game of, I think it was the last game of the season. To me, that was a perfect representation of those two quarterbacks because Josh Allen was able to bully himself and get crucial first downs when needed. Crucial. And not only, not only like the few yards that he needs, but and then some. And that ended up being a difference maker. The fact that Josh Allen didn't have a good enough team around him and was able to put his head down and say, I will get the job done. Tua does not have that ability because of his health and just his frame and his size, which is okay. You just have to accept that. Just because someone says that doesn't mean that they're automatically a Tua doubter or hater. It's just the reality. And it's a big benefit when you can do that, like a Josh Allen. Believe me, though, Josh Allen will pay the consequences down the road. I mean, he is not going to age well. He's going to age like an Andrew Luck, like a Roethlisberger, a Cam Newton, which is unfortunate. But so with Tua, you don't have that, and that does matter. That means that you need to have a good team around you. You need to have the weapons. You need to have other players who can be physical for you because you can't. And you need money to be able to do that. And the truth is with the lack of success, which is what they showed. Let me see if I can bring it up. Let me see. There it is. Facing teams over 500, 1-6. Touchdown to interception ratio, 8-7. Points per game, 16. Now, that's not all on Tua, right? It's not. It's definitely not just Tua, but some of it is Tua. I mean, it is. It just has to be. There's no way that it can't be. So I just think that you need to have more success on the field, and you also need to have some playoff success before you start getting these massive, mega contracts. You just do. Jalen Hurts wasn't getting that contract that he got if he didn't go to the Super Bowl and then ball out in the Super Bowl. That's why they ended up paying him. If he got knocked out first round, he's not getting that contract. He's just not. There's just no way. Well, he would have still got a good contract, but not the contract that he did. So I just think that you need to show that you can do a little bit more. And I get it. Some quarterbacks haven't shown all that, whether it be Kyler Murray, whether it be Justin Herbert, which I get. Justin Herbert, to me, has shown that he is a stud and his team is clearly lacking, so I don't put that on him. The Dolphins have given to a pretty good team. Again, a team that's still lacking, a team that's not truly physical. And I think, that it was unfortunate that their defense just fell apart, because I think they could have been a lot more competitive against the Kansas City Chiefs. I really do. I had that game being a lot closer than it actually was indeed. But the reality is that Tua needs to do more. And I think Tua needs more. And if you need more, you can't take all that money. I think you need to build a team. For Tua to really be successful, you need to build a team that's like the 49ers, which makes sense because that's where their coach is coming from the Shanahan system. But that's what you need. You need these other big, strong workhorses, both offensively and defensively, so you can highlight what Tua does great, minimize his weaknesses, don't ask him to be a Superman, and then you can win. You can win playoff games. You can get to the Super Bowl. You could win a Super Bowl. I mean, Tua is a great player, but he hasn't crossed the threshold to being elite. And you can't get paid like you're elite. That is the biggest mistake. That is what happened to Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. They paid him like he's elite. They paid him like he is in the realm of Patrick Mahomes, and he is not. And the Cowboys suffer greatly because of it. So if you're a Miami Dolphins fan and you want to see your team succeed, then you can't pay Tua all the money in the world. You just can't. You just can't. And if Patrick Mahomes isn't taking all the money in the world, then why would Tua? Like, we know you need a good team around you. I mean, like, I feel like I'm just going to be saying this for the next 20 years because it's just like people don't seem to really understand it or accept that as the reality. You need a team around you. Patrick Mahomes did not have the best offense this year, and his numbers suffered greatly. You need a team around you. And if Tua takes all that money, you're not going to be able to build that team. You're just not. So I don't really see a tremendous argument for giving Tua the bag, so to speak, outside of him just being a great person and a great leader, which that does matter. But I just think that he needs to take a deal that's like, I don't know. I don't like to lock down numbers because I think it's too impossible. But like 45 million, maybe 50 million. And even that I feel like might be pushing it. I feel like he needs a Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield deal. To be very clear, I think he's better. I think he's definitely better than Baker Mayfield, without a doubt. And I think some of the highs of Tua is, without a doubt, some of the highest in the NFL, But some of the issues that you still have to work around with Tua is still, I mean, he's admitted that he can't even see the field fully, that he can't see over the lineman. I mean, those are his words. That there are certain plays that he literally can't see develop because he can't see over, the line of scrimmage. But those are his words. That has to be considered. And, again, I understand that 1-6 record is not 100% on Tua, but some of it is. And some of it, to be able to get that money, to get that $60 million contract and all that guaranteed money, you have to prove that you can overcome some of those issues. That if it is a team issue, if it is the fact that your defense wasn't good enough or your offensive weapons were injured or whatever, you got to prove that you can at least overcome it. Maybe not every single time, because like I said, Patrick Mahomes can't overcome it every single time, but you have to be able to overcome it to a degree. You have to be able to sometimes be like, all right, I'm going to put this team on my back. And you know what? If you can't, that's okay. You can still be a great quarterback. You can still be an elite quarterback and not be able to do that. I really believe that. You can have wild success, and win Super Bowls. but you have to understand how to structure your team. You have to understand how much money you should get paid. So I really hope cooler heads prevails with this, because I want to see Tua stay in Miami. I want to see Miami be successful. I want Tua to get paid, but it has to be reasonable. It can't be the most guaranteed money. It can't be the most money on a year-to-year basis. I just do not think that will lead the Dolphins to success. And you know what? If I'm wrong, I will be happily wrong. I will be happily wrong, because I've said this again and again and again. I think Tua is an awesome person, and he is the exact type of player and person that I want to see elevated, that I want to see succeed. And I think the league should want him to succeed, because those are the personalities and the people that we want to see succeed. Not the divas, not the crybabies, not the people that are getting in car crashes and causing drama off the field. We want to see the good humans succeed. It matters. It really, really does. So those are just my thoughts. I would absolutely love to hear yours. What do you think the Miami Dolphins should do with Tua? Do you think he should get all the money in the world, or do you think he needs to take a more team-friendly deal? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.